Hello, and welcome back to the MySpace podcast. I'm your host, Miley, and today I will be reviewing the book Blood of Dragons by Penelope Barsetti. This is book 2 of the Death series, and I'm tired. I'm always tired. Rating. So I give this book an 8 out of 10. It was definitely better than the first one. Also, because there was no smut, so, there was more plot to it, which was nice. There were a couple of inconsistencies, because, I don't remember, I thought this was different, that's what was going on in my head. And there were some things with Talon where I was just like, really? Is that really who he is? But also I do have to remember that because of his past, he's completely different. So things don't go together. There's a lot more plot. It seems shorter, but I don't know if it was shorter. And not a lot happened plot-wise, but I think it was more character-wise. Sorry, I'm just tired. Plot/storyline. So Callista goes to what used to be her castle growing up, because she was a princess. She goes there in search of a secret compartment her father had, which she hoped would give her the location of where the free dragons are. It gives her directions to the people who protect the other free dragons, the elves, but that's also where her uncle is. So she goes to them. She's not really welcome in. She's more... she's allowed to stay, but she has to do something first, and they don't trust her. And she has to do this so she can earn a very, very, very small morsel of their trust. And because she had to do something first, I really wish we could have seen more on that. There was just... I'll talk about it later. There's also this one guy who likes her, but we're getting brighter. Just gonna leave. What was I saying? There's this one guy who likes her, and she's like, he's nice, but she's not ready for a relationship, and she is definitely still into Talon. And when she tells him that, he takes a step back. And they continue to be friends, but she took a step back and did not try to force her, coerce her to do anything. Talon visits a few times, where basically he appears and only she can see him. And those conversations always ended up in a fight. Great. We get in 2 or 3 real nice big chapters of Talon's past, so we learn about that. And then the ending is where they get back together, but stuff happens. I'm just so done. I'm tired. I have a lot going on though, so I'm probably not going to make a video for these in a bit. It'll be a bit. I'm going to make 5 videos in a day afterwards. That'll be a lot. Callista. So, she has some conflicting thoughts. Honestly, everyone does. She hates Talon because of the pain he caused her and everything that he did to her, but she feels for him and cares for him, and she does like him. And she doesn't want to like him or anything, but she does. She doesn't want to hurt him. And so, when she's trying to get the elves to listen to her, it ain't really working because she's still kind of in love with him, even though she hasn't admitted that she's in love with him. They don't admit that yet. So one of the things with her is that their goals are aligned in a way, but also not aligned, because he's doing this out of one thing, she wants another thing, blah blah blah. I don't know why I wrote that down. She tries pushing him away, but it doesn't really work. Because Because also when she pushes him away, then she's all just like, I want him back. She feels connected with elves. She feels, okay, not connected. She feels content with elves. Like, it's peaceful there and stuff. But at like the same time, she feels like something is missing, which I wish we could have got more on too, because it was only mentioned like once. Talon. So I totally forgot to mention this in the last video, but he can control the dead. He was gifted these powers by the god of the underworld, which I don't remember his name, but it's somewhere in these notes. What we learn in this book is that he's 50 or 60 years old, but he doesn't look like it because he's fused with his dragon, Kazmuda. So he's pretty old, which I'm trying to look past. He doesn't look it though. But also, that's just fantasy books for you. He's going through his own little crisis of feelings. He's all like, I hate her, and she betrayed me, but I can't stop thinking about her, and I miss her. He cares about her way more than he wants to admit, and then he has this huge change of feelings at the end, which isn't explained at all. Like, he goes from one to another, and I'm just like, when did this change occur? Because he was just, like, dead set on hating her. He went through a lot too, which we can see in his past chapters. And we get to see the reasons why he does what he does and feels the way he does. Okay, anyways. Spoilers. So this is the past spoilers, really just of Talon. So Talon had a younger brother and sister and a pregnant wife, so he was married. And that's one of those that was just like, whoa, really? Okay, so Talon's very distant relative, Baron, wanted the crown because he thought that he believes that he rightfully deserves the crown. He works with the Dark Elves to take control of dragons who live with these people peacefully. Just ignore the changing of the lights. It's nature. What can I do about it? So Baron attacks Talon's family, and while they are no match against the dragons, because Baron has the dragons, Baron burns his family alive before Talon's very eyes, which is just horrible. Now, Talon had also sent his wife away to keep her safe, but Baron captured her, and he also burned her alive in front of him. So if that doesn't explain why he is what he is, I don't know what will. This is also when Kazmuda comes in to save him. And then after this, so we get a couple months and stuff, so he's starting to become numb in a way. And at one point he does try to kill himself, but Kazmuda stops him by fusing with him. And then Talon, for a bit, lives in a small village, makes Kazmuda leave because he's just done. He ends up working with pirates, and he becomes pretty big with them. He also makes up with Kazmuda. Then, years later, he tells the captain of the pirate ship what happened in his past, and this guy's all like, you need revenge, and tells him about this island where there's a guy who could help him get revenge. And that's where he meets the god of the underworld, Bahamut. I'm not even going to try right now. Oh my gosh, I look pale. And he makes a deal with this god where he gets what he wants by giving his soul to this guy after he gets victory. Because of course. And also, this is maybe like 20 years. This whole chunk maybe takes 20 years. So if he was already like 20, that's like 40. Then you add the 10 other years that he uses. And that's like 50, 60 years. But he doesn't look it because he doesn't age because he's immortal. Present. So for Calista to be able to live with the elves, she has and gain a very, 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 very small, tiny morsel of their trust. She has to separate from Inferno, so she has to unfuse with him. She does that, and it hurts, but only for a bit, and I really, really wish we could have gotten more of an explanation on that, because, like, that's a big thing. Come on, I need more. There's just not a lot of explanation and feeling in this book, and I'm kind of annoyed by it. I'm like, you have something, but I need more on it. She lives with the elves for a bit. Talon appears and asks for her to come back. She says no. Yeah. And then she tells him he'll never come back, and he's a little like, fine, I'm never gonna come back. Then General Titan, because of course he has to come back, he comes back and gets his own army and starts marching to the forest where the elves live, so we can get Calista. And how he knew where Calista is a mystery. So Talon is aware that the army is marching to the forest, and it's all like, he's probably going after Calista. Calista's probably in that forest. But at this point he's angry at Calista, and is saying she's dead to him, because she pushed him away. Cosmuda, though, is like, if you're not gonna go, I'm gonna go save her. And then Talon was like, you go, you don't come back. And then it ends there, and then they go, and I'm like, what happened? So he turns up actually at the right time, right when Titan had gotten a hold of her and dragged her away from the battle and was about to like rape her. And that's when Talon comes and he saves her. Then they're all lovey-dovey again for a bit. But they haven't actually really talked yet. He's also not allowed into the forest. The queen won't let him because of his powers. The queen knows where the dragons are, so they need her to tell them where the powers are so that they can go ask the dragons for help. They only want to ask the dragons for help. That's it. If they say no, they'll leave. So they keep saying, but nobody believes them. They ask for an audience with her through Calista's uncle, and this is the only reason why she even thinks about listening to them. So she says that she'll take them to the place blindfolded if they destroy the Dark Elves in their land, because the Dark Elves are trying to destroy them and get something. Yeah, so that's the deal. And that's basically how it ends. They also, Calista and Talon also promise to stay by each other's side forever. Which I don't know how that's going to happen when he's given his soul to the god of the underworld. And he hasn't told her that either. He also hasn't told her about how he was once married and was going to have a child with her. And also, these dragons have such different personalities too. Like, they change. And I'm like, okay. But, like, I just want to know how it ends. If I get too annoyed, I'll stop reading. But right now, we're fine. Okay, anyways. That's it. I'm tired and I got stuff to do. So thanks for watching and listening. And have a good rest of your day, night, week, month, year, life. Thank you. And goodbye.